Where's the blind? How do I know about the blind? Oh, this is the blind. Okay, so I should go the dash because if he tries to pull me. Actually, no, I shouldn't go the dash because he's not gonna level E level 1. So I should go Q level 1 and push hard. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna push my lane hard and try to harass him at tower. And then when I hit level 2, every time he pulls me, I'm gonna use E to get away from him. Because this pushes me back too. Now, junglers in this matchup is really important because it becomes really easy to dive either side, especially for Quinn. That's why it's always important to push. If you don't have... Okay, it's fucking MF, of course. So she goes for a CS, I'm gonna hit her. She hit me too. I gotta watch out for that bounce. Pushing is very advantageous for me though. He has TP, but I'm gonna try and hit level 3 here. Alright, so I'm full HP pretty much, so I should just ward. And then push up again. Try to make him miss CS. Valor seems really strong. Or Quinn seems really strong. So we can't look for a dive here. But if he gets low enough, no, he won't get low. He has 5 potions, so we won't be able to do anything until I buy. So this is not a cannon wave. The next wave is a cannon wave. That's when I want to look to see if I can buy. This is not a good time to gank. That's why you don't call for a gank at certain times. Because you already solo killed him, so you don't need the gank. The only purpose for Lee being here is a counter gank. So now that I pushed, I can get a buy timer. And since it's the cannon wave, he's not going to clear it that fast. It's also going to push back towards me. So, I don't know where MF is. Alright, so Lee Sin was playing aggressive when I backed off, and even if I was there, I couldn't help him. So that was really bad by Lee there. That's why I wasn't calling for a gank or anything. Now, this is the worst you can do to your top laner, giving a top lane double buff. It's really, really bad. Now I have to play to farm instead of playing to abuse, even though I'm ahead. I can only beat him because I have an item advantage. So Lee is really trolling me right now because he's trying to camp top. and I'm not calling for ganks. There's not really, it's not gankable because MF has flash and double buffs. Now, let's say if you were in MF's position, this would actually be a potential area to dive, because let's say if he chunked me with ult, right here, if I got ulted and chunked, he would be able to dive me with his jungler. I'm full HP, so there's no point of backing when I have the item advantage. So because I had the item advantage and mana advantage, I should have been able to win there, which is why I won that. Because I also have RNG advantage too, because I have a crit item. So if I can push this up before... Now this is risky, but because I'm in a low level game, I don't really care. Well, I do care if I die, but it's really beneficial. It's like a really greedy thing to do. This is a common thing that happens for a lot of top players when they have to decide from being greedy or not. It's usually the latter. I don't know what I should be buying for item build because I don't know Quinn, so you'll have to look up guides for that. So MF still has flash, but because I'm ahead, I have Dorans and brawlers on her. Even though she has ult advantage on me, kind of, I can still like flash her ult and try to kill her. This only works because I have the item advantage and because Quinn is very strong in 1 vs 1s apparently. But if the jungler was there, that's a good example. If the jungler was there and I died, which is what usually happens, that's what you would call a volatile lane. So that's a time I should have been calling for my jungler. And that's something that I didn't think about. So those are the times that really take you to next level, and I'm not really at that level yet. That's what the level of like a lot of competitive tops are at. They know when to call at that point. Because I'm focused more on what I can do, not what I can't do. So MF TP'd bot, so I'm just going to keep pushing. There's no point of backing here. It's really, really hard to get that to that point. You have to be really, really like really good or have a lot of like outside help where they watch you and they tell you that this is a point where you should always be calling for help, and then they remind you and help you build those habits. But alone as a player, it's like really hard. It also depends on your motivation because it takes a huge toll on you. It's like when you become the best at something, it's like it's really hard to stay the best when there's so many people that play. So after pushing this would be a good time to buy. Now he could go on me, but I do have the creep advantage. That's why it doesn't matter that much. So this would be a good time to buy. I might miss a couple of CS, but it's worth it. So for Quinn, when you get hit, you get out of bird form, so I should press it when I'm close to an enemy. Otherwise I waste free damage. I guess it works on creeps too. I try and punish this guy. Not much I can do there. So I'm gonna ping, so that way I can tell them to be aggressive and then TP and pick up a free kill maybe. Why do I go so slow? Isn't this supposed to make me fast? Oh, so I guess I can use an ability while I'm doing that. That's what I should have did on MF earlier, and that would have been a more guaranteed kill. So now that top lane is, well, it's not frozen, I can just walk back up there. MF is only behind 20 CS, which is pretty good still for him. But the kills are worth a lot more. So I see MF is bot, so I'm gonna go ahead and punish that by pushing top. If they don't send anyone top, I'll get top tower. It's probably pretty dangerous, but Azir's dead, so it should be fine. It's probably better for me to roam around mid or control their jungle first. So right here is an example of skipping a step. I should be walking into the jungle and getting wards first before doing anything like this. Whether it's a pink ward or a blue trinket, like getting wards in the jungle should be first priority. The reason why a lot of teams throw in competitive play is because they skip steps. This right here was an example of skipping a step. You get vision in their jungle first, and then you go with the siege, because you don't know if they're coming or not, unless you like randomly guess, which is like not, really not sustainable. Hogging over here is dangerous because there's no wards, because the Zero could fuck me up. We should be able to get this mid tower. MF is still top. I can look for a kill on her. Probably not there though. I'm gonna push 2 waves back. Probably buy really strong items. I was thinking about buying Essence, but I don't know which is better. Because you'd eventually get both, right? I really don't know what's the best build. Oh, holy shit, this item's really strong. I think I should get this. That only works because I'm really fed. I'm not sure what the best build is. Right now I'm just running around looking for free kills. If he pushes one more wave, he's dead. And if he doesn't, then I get a free ward. So he should be right here. If I went more behind him before Eing, I probably would have been able to get him. That depends if he had flash though. So I used very little mana for that. Just running around looking for kills though. Oh, I barely got that one. Oh, bot turret's not dead yet. So once again, like the order of doing stuff is not only down middle. Like a lot of people commonly group middle when they don't know what to do, which is usually fine sometimes, but you see that people in lower elo farm a lot less. Because farm is technically power. It depends on how bloodthirsty the game is. It's just whatever's highest priority. Like in lower elo games, I like to farm a lot more because I don't trust any of my teammates. Because when you make plays, you're trusting your teammates also. You're not only looking to make plays, but you're also trusting your teammates to play properly too. I'm a super fed, so I can do whatever I want, basically. I don't have much mana left, but I'm looking for the MF kill here. When you get this fed, it's really hard to throw. Like, I can do anything. I could tell you to build AP items and probably still win. It's also vice versa. Like, if I'm 0 and 11, there's nothing you can really do at that point. Because the enemy's so fed, the game should be over. But the thing is, in lower elos or lower levels, or maybe like mid levels, people like to like get really complacent. So that's also another thing in competitive play. When you're super fed, you skip steps and then you throw. That's a really good example actually. When you get complacent and you skip steps. Some people just don't know the steps, but there's some people that know the steps and then they intentionally forget about. I'm fucking dead. They skip steps knowing that, and then they die. Like, right there, I wasn't skipping any steps, I was just being dumb. You get complacent and then you die. What separates the best players from, like, the good players is when you get a lead, keeping that lead and never dying is what makes you, like, really, really good at the game. It's not all about just, like, being fed and then dying and then blaming your team because you died and played bad. Like, it's also about... Fuck, I shouldn't get that. I guess I'll go BT next. I don't know what I'm supposed to build. So the thing about complacency is it applies to all levels of play. When you get ahead, you start playing more sloppy. But one important thing to note is, like, just because you don't die doesn't mean you're doing the right thing. There are times where you should go in at the right time and not be afraid of going in and dying just because you have a lot of kills. What you should do is you should value yourself above all of your teammates because you're fed and you have a spree, but at the same time you should still be doing a lot of damage. You shouldn't be playing so far back where you don't do any damage unless you can die. You just go to the tip of like where you can die, and you just like try to bait them back and forth and you play around that area, and that's like an AD carry kind of mentality. Like, that's a good example. That was a bait. That's a very skeptical. That's a very close, like, that's like playing on the edge. That's where Turtle kind of played. Like, he always played on the edge, but he was really good at it. I think Quinn counters MF because you cancel the E, or the ult with your E too. I basically just told you guys all of my weaknesses. Slightly less mechanics from the top players, and then tilting, throwing leads, like all this stuff I'm talking to you guys about is what I have problems with, and that's also why I wanted to retire, because I wasn't motivated to like go and fix them, because I was starting